Welcome back to my lovely HP community and the 5D Collective. Today we're going to start with our 5D Mystic, Spiritual, Self-Help, Mindful, Loving, and Living messages for the 5D Collective. We started a little short and then I got to share with you what is written out for our community. In case you're curious, there's pictures and there's a beautiful spread, that lovely tree of life. So when you have the eternal child of you in the forefront, you're going to enjoy what it is that we do here, because we're all healthy, self-worth, 5D mystics, and functional to bring each other the capacity to know that what other people say about us doesn't matter. It's us who will not be ashamed of who we are or what we have done. We have integrity, and we know God made us in the very image and very self that we're meant to be, but it's a whole self. So the ones who don't have their whole self, the ones who have trauma and they don't heal it, they don't know that which they were meant to become, and they're following fancy men and women and other people in suits who allow them to, Robert Sapolsky says there's a life without free will. So they've all been determined, and I will beg to differ, saying they can go to good therapy and get their self unpaused, own their self, the sense of self, get the core self out of shame, narrative self out of shame, relational self out of shame, solo self out of shame, and therefore become a flag with a flag post. But the masculines, they need to be captured, contained, and given limitations and nurtured, because they're meant to actually do that with their own embodied feminine, but they allow others to do that for them. So let me read to you, shall I? Okay, so remember, every choice you make leads you closer to you and being yourself when you own an open heart and an open mind. So integration of the brain, and that equals non-reactivity. You want to move into your restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating life. Otherwise, you're going to be a person who doesn't make choices that lead you closer to you, but you're going to get farther away. Depends who you ask. So every choice you make in life and your relationships can bring the essence of you and yourself to life, to be shared with depth, vulnerability, and integrity. People who don't own their sense of self don't uncover the depths of themselves, the eternal child within, the essence of love and life they're made of when embodying pure consciousness and energy. They don't reconnect to God. They don't reconnect to any of it yet, because they still have, remember, the trauma stuff, okay, generational, transgenerational. So as long as you meet a Cusco, allow yourself to remember Robert Sapolsky with determined. There's a life of them without free will. And remember Patrick McNamara, no demon possessing anyone, fear receptor going wonky, and therefore we leave alone maladaptive patterns of behavior people and adaptive child parts, because they're all going to do low self-esteem, indirect communication, passive aggressive. They don't know boundaries at all. They try to control the situation, and usually they have some smart ass attitude in moment. It depends what their go-to safety behavior is. Please appease, or what was it, attach, cry, collapse, submit, or fight, flight, freeze, flop, drop. So the mask, their safety behavior is going to have a mask because it's an adaptive child part. So they're going to be rigid, harsh, unforgiving. You're going to notice them because they make sure, as codependent types, whether they're martyrs, superiors, or blamers, to bring forth their mannerisms. Okay, so the 5D Collective will spot those who don't own their sense of self and who have no integrity, because they keep their biases charged and they project them through backhanded comments, behaviors, and tones in social interactions and conversations. So when we're with people, they will switch it up. The mindful person, on the other hand, those of us who own our sense of self, we recalibrate, in fact, when we're around unhealthy self-worth relationships, by keeping in mind that these individuals don't own their sense of self and that they are unreliable and manipulable, like a flag without a flag post, so a flag in the wind. Remember, please, people who don't own their sense of self, they cannot offer you a safe haven, secure base, meaning secure attachment, connection, or relationship, because they don't have one with their own self. They're not their own inner child adult. They need to go to Patrick Tian to get reparented first. Maybe when they're ready, forgive. Okay, so the 3D, 4D collective self, that's who they are, those who are the lower frequency beneath neutrality, and they're all reactive and all like, we want to stay this way. They're owned by the public figures they follow, so we spot them like a hawk online and then we make fun of them here. They're also owned by the beliefs they hold and want to impose on others, yes, and the rigid identity and lifestyle practices that they believe everyone else has to adopt to live life well, healthy. They're going to use the same words we do. And be a stand-up person. So remember, women, we got lists. Some will tell you to be a virgin. Some will tell you to make sure you need a man, and that they have to be the ruler of. You all know that already. For the men, I'm a woman, so I've been told I'm not allowed to speak, which is where I'm gonna leave it alone. Also, I'm a feminine, so the reality is I don't need to talk because I know what masculines are capable of, which is why I'm not very impressed yet. I'm impressed by the ones who are embodying true masculinity because now they embody their own sense of self, so they're not a flag in the wind. And we'll get to that one in our next episode. The 5D Collective. We maintain integrity and non-reactivity since we own our sense of self and don't lose sight of the fact that we're all differentiated selves. And that when socializing with others, we're talking to people who have their own subjective, differentiated self-life experiences, beliefs, and emotional past. It's called being self-empowered and the true frequency of humility, humbleness, and what it means to actively know in my heart. I've never walked one day in your shoes. I don't know what your body went through or your mind. I have the decency to remember that your heart was broken or some shit like that when you treat me like a piece of shit, and I won't say anything about it. Because, again, also, I learned how not to because Cuscos don't have an ego, apparently. So, with people who choose to be their true self and own their sense of self, those are the ones we get to grow healthy, self-worth, functional adult relationships with. Those are deep. Those are... They're the ones who get to know all of you because they don't actually disown any parts of you. So, they don't come behind your back and, like my facade friend, all of a sudden, out of the blue, out of nowhere... I don't believe in any of the shit you ever told me. I mean, that's really awful to find out. But then again, I thank my friend because that way I can easily pick up on when it's happening outside. Our oversoul teaches us how to handle every single one of those fake people out there. And anybody who doesn't own their sense of self is going to be fake to feminine because they're masculine who doesn't tap into, nothing. They don't tap into shit. They get captured. So when unhealthy self-worth others are around us, we will know who they are. They grow relationships just like anybody else. We recalibrate the healthy self-worth people to remember that they lack expansion of consciousness because they don't have integration. They also don't have mastery of their emotional, mental, and physical plane because they don't have integration. They don't care to learn new things, novelty, creative expression. They don't like change at all. I mean, they go rigid, harsh. Again, they're like, no, this is the way you have to be. You have to dress this way and be a woman this way and be a man this way and be this. Oh, wow, okay. Wow, all these rules, adaptive child. Yeah, that sounds like too much hard work. I don't do love that way. No, my love is easy. We go hang out with people. Again, partners. But, you can be friends with all people because we don't share the same roof. So, luckily, once we're all out of the way, there you go. Oh, and unhealthy self-worth people, they don't own their self, so they don't know what the fuck's going on because they lack the self-awareness, accountability, and regulation skills to say, wow, I was a really rude asshole right now because I think everyone needs to believe in God the way I want, believe in fucking the way I want, believing in this the way I want, and, so again, we're going to meet them. There's plenty of them. When I do the... I'm polyamory. Oh, you're all masochists. Not really. Not the healthy self-worth ones. We're not. Oh, that's hard. No, you told me you followed your parents and got them to tell you what to do with life. So you're happy though, right? Yeah, good. That's how you handle a low self-esteem human being. You don't say, so you don't have self-esteem? That's not really nice. And also that's really the same kind of coin. So, we own, again, our emotional, mental, and physical plane because what was it? Any 5D owns integrity. What other people say about us doesn't matter. Here, it's a heart. It doesn't get broken. Your words just told me your opinion. That's all that is. Oh, that's right. Healthy self-worth women. Again, it's non-reactive since you're very little. I have a twin, though. I got to get disowned. I got to have heartbreak. Boys denied that I could go ride with them. They rejected me. Anyone? I've been practiced in rejection. It's not protection. It's called, you're different. You're different. We're all different. What was it? No two trees are alike. Yeah, this is yours and yours alone. Grow, stand tall amongst the stars. Thanks, Mom. It's my life. I get to do whatever I want with it. And I don't impose my emotional, mental, or physical plane on anyone. There you go. Healthy self-worth people, come on over. So, when we are around, again, the unhealthy self worth others, we also grow the relationship with them. We don't cancel and block them or unfriend them. That's not necessary. Healthy boundary people know how to have a ventral vagal state. Am I not decent enough to be saluted? Remember the story, please. So we just recalibrate again to remember, one, they lack expansion of consciousness because they lack mental, emotional, and physical intelligence. They lack bilateral integration. Remember Robert Sapolsky with the term in the science of life without free will. There's a bunch of people who are happy about that. That way they don't have to go to therapy and they can say, oh, I was made this way and this is why God made. So you're going to say, well, reality, God made you perfect, but because you're broken, because you're not broken where you're broken. No, yourself was given non-secure attachment, no secure attachment. It was broken because your home wasn't safe, was not safe, and somewhere you got lost, so you don't own anything yet. You really aren't you at all. You're just a distorted version who wants to bring unto others that which happened to you, which was you were made to feel helpless, hopeless. This is really sad. Like completely in the absence of power, which is why your angry little vicious tone, quote unquote, doesn't mean viciousness to a person who's a feminine. It's, oh, you know you want it, give it to him. That is not really how I heard. I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on with you. No, I don't, but no, he's busy. I don't want him that way. Oh, okay, that's what happens when a ventral vagal non-reactive tone answers a man who comes up to you in your face and does some shit like this. This is a friend of mine. He was pissed off because I put him in his place. I didn't do it on purpose. He just made an argumentation, or no, he made a discourse. He presented to me an equation that was half true. So I said, half of what you said is true, but you forgot about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just didn't know how to handle myself. I wasn't saying it was his fault. I was presenting to him. There were other equations that you disregarded to put into your equation of why we have a moment of this thing, but I'm still your friend. I love you to death. And in fact, he's the same one I said hello to, when the other one, I just had to look at him because, you know, he was there and he made such a big deal about not being decent enough. And he's like, well, at least you looked at me. Yes, but I'm not saluting you because I'm going to stick to my guns, my heart, which was, I never said anything to you that was nice or not nice. I just didn't want to become your friend. My men friends have informed me, did you say it right? So I had to say it right when you basically at the end of an evening told me that we would become friends, and no, I told you we won't because I behaved in a very consistent, contingent way, which was, I don't want to be your friend. Now you made me tell it to you. And my mother even said, you didn't tell him you don't like him. No, Mom, no, I didn't. I just made sure he knew I didn't want to be friends with him. And then he made me say it. And then you allow yourself to say, well, at least let me look at the poor dude, because really, I mean, well, he was next to my friend. So again, you find compromises, the 5D collective. So we just remember true love, vulnerability, and building genuine relationships, their gift, and that every life moment, yes, it's special. So even that, he gave me a funny story to tell you. Look at you. You all laugh every time you hear it. I laugh. We all laugh. So the 5D collective, we're mystics and people who accept each other completely. We unconditionally love, respect who we are as differentiated selves, and we speak our truth easily. I don't want to be your friend. And to my other friend, I didn't do shit. This is what happened. And when he comes up again, it's cool. You're shit. No, you're shit. That's what happens when you're a secure, attached human being and you're being your whole self. That's why I get to be my own tree. And feminines, we're all here. The embodied true feminine is a securely attached human being. We have healthy self-worth. We know how to grow all relationships. So we don't say no to our unhealthy self-worth buddies. And, they're all over the place. We allow them to continue doing their thing. We do our thing. And we love to be ourselves mindfully and spiritually. We know it's not for everybody. That some people do not want to achieve their higher mental, emotional, and physical intelligence state. And that's because God, or human evolution, however you want to put it, that's where we got our free will. You got to choose. You get to choose how to love and live and how to be you. So free will is knowing if you want to pursue emotional, mental, and physical intelligence. Good. Now we get to say, you own yourself, come continue doing more social engagement. You don't own yourself, you go own yourself first, then you do more social engagement, the ventral vagal state. And that's why you get out of the survival mode and all of Kus gratitude mode. And that's why you then become a person of integrity. You're not a flag in the wind who poo. No, you're not. You are actually what Michael Jordan shares. Some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, others make it happen. Welcome aboard. Come be yourself, mindfully and or spiritually, with your lovely 5D mystic for self-help mentoring, one-to-one. Let me know if you want that. I'm very serious though. I only take serious people, and spiritual retreats and mindfulness, also master class. There's a list. It will be a closed number, so I'll make sure to announce that every now and then. You can email me, and we'll be back with another episode. I have a bunch of channeled guidance message right around me. Oh, I love it. So thanks for stopping by. In the meantime, like, share, and subscribe. If you do know healthy self-worth people who want in, get them to come and follow IHP. I mean, we're going to have a good time as the future keeps moving forward. If I don't get hit by an asteroid. Hey, God, am I? He's saying I'm going to be good. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be good. I keep asking because, you know, if there's one thing a feminine loves is life. I love to love, and my baby, he loves to laugh, and he loves to live, and he loves to learn, and he loves to dance, and he loves to not cast stones, and he loves to expand, and then we get to welcome all of the children. They're all grown-ups, though. We don't want children. Nope, no children here. We let other people have the children because, you know, we're really busy trying to save the environment. Air, water, and food. Others consistently disregard that air, water, and food need our attention. In fact, they're very fear-mongering, asshole 7 of 14 charming. Make sure they know how not to take care of the environment and the globe. We also have flat earthers, so let's remember. Please, join hands and let's make a difference for real versus the ones who just pretend. There's pretenders. They all need to feel special. Remember, God is benevolent. So they have the ones who they copy and they have the ones who lead them, and we're not worried. The ones of us who know God always wins, yeah, we're also not worried about anyone being fallen because we have determined with Robert Sapolsky, Patrick McNamara, and all neuroscientists and scientists pointing to who the assholes are. They need therapy. They don't want it. And some of them are actively pursuing, trying to dismantle every single, sciences. So they chase each other down the hallways. The spirituality ones, we have a bit more fun because, all they do is say, oh, Luciferians. Wow. Okay, we'll be back in a little bit. So like, share, and subscribe again. We're going to have a good time with some stories.